What up? It's your boy Ro Ransom, and you're now watching Hot New Hip Hop with Jeff Hardy's long lost brother. My childhood was kind of interesting. It was kind of isolated. You know, music wasn't really a part of it, from my own perspective at least. You know, my father was a drummer, but I was more so watching pro wrestling and Japanese cartoons and being a sponge. As I got older, I kind of realized that the sponge was getting full. You know, when you put a sponge in the water, you got to squeeze it out at some point, and that's kind of what rap was for me. I had taken in all these colors and sounds and visuals throughout the first, 13 years of my life, and I needed a place to put it, and that's what rap was to me. The funny thing is, I didn't actually start with rap music at all as far as what I liked. You know, I watched, even before it was Fuse TV, I was watching Much Music, and it was a Canadian channel, and I just would watch some 41 videos and NSYNC videos. I was a big NSYNC fan. I never really liked the Backstreet Boys. I was a big Britney Spears fan. I never really liked Christina Aguilera. But kind of the trick that came along with that was when you watch that channel and you get all that pop music and you intake all of that pop culture from America's surface, you know, you get Eminem. Because, you know, they might not have been playing Exhibit. They might not have been playing, you know, Snoop or Dre. But, you know, they were playing Eminem because he looked like them. So that's kind of how I got introduced to hip hop, and from there I fell in love with it. I collected rare Eminem Raucous Records freestyles, and I just became enveloped in anything of his I could find. And from there, I found 50 Cent, and I found D12, and I found Dr. Dre, and I found everything else, and that's how I kind of got introduced to hip hop. The name Young Coyote, it came from the idea of lone wolf, but it's funny because had I chosen the name Lone Wolf or Young Wolf, I really wouldn't be a lone wolf because that's kind of cliche. I would have been the masses had I picked a name like that. So I said, what canine is underrated and overlooked, and what canine do people really not give its shine? And that was the coyote. And that's how I got that name, and it's stuck with me. Ro Ransom is the future is kind of like, you know, like when you're in college and you get to that last year and papers go from being like 5 pages to like 20 pages, and you got to write that one huge senior thesis at the end of the year to get your degree. That's kind of like what Ro Ransom is the future is to me. You know, I've proven my skill as a rapper, and I think I've kind of graduated from being a rapper. I don't even really look at myself as a rapper anymore. I don't know what the word is for what I am. I guess we'll have to come back and do another interview one day so I can explain that one. But, you know, to me, Ro Ransom is bigger than being a rapper. It's almost bigger than being a musician. It's an idea, and I feel like I'd be selling myself short, and I'd be selling my fans short, even if there's 10 of them, to call myself a rapper. Because when you see this logo, like it's bigger than rap music. This is a statement. It's a statement of individuality. It's a statement of rebellion, you know. When I do a modeling job, that's me showing kids that the loser can be the winner. You know, when I songwrite for somebody else and I put my brain and my mental power into creating for others, that's me showing kids that the loser can be the winner. So to me, Ro Ransom is the future was kind of like the culmination of my skill set and the graduation of me going from being a rapper to whatever it is that I've become now. Basically, like, long story short, without like the super diatribe, like my sound is like fucking, pretty much. Like, as good as you feel when you're fucking, that's how I want my music to sound. So I don't really think rapping 80 bar verses feels as good as fucking. I kind of think that when you hear Love Sosa in the club, or that's kind of a dated record, maybe when you hear Hot Nigga in the club, or maybe when you hear Running Through the Six with My Woes in the club, that feels like fucking. And I want my music to feel like that. It's kind of like there's a pop sensibility to what I do. It's kind of like Missy Elliott, but at the same time, it's kind of like Louis C.K. because everything I write lyrically is so cerebral. It's very psychological. Like, I won't just tell you about the girl who did drugs. I'll tell you why she did it. So that's kind of how I would describe my sound. It's like fucking. One band I'm really looking forward to collaborate with is Air. You know, those are a couple of really good friends of mine, and I think that if we made music together, it would be really good, because music is kind of like anything else where, you know, I could easily ring this person's phone or email this person who has a name to try to make some type of a, forced collaboration happen. But when it's your friends and it's people that you actually like in real life, like Quest or, Ricky Hill, that's when great music happens, I think, when it's natural. So those are kind of my favorite people to collaborate with. My friends, On Cue being another one. Rob Got Beats being another one. JX being another one. We make great music together because it's a real connection there. Pretty much as far as like record labels are concerned and major versus independent is concerned, I feel like the idea of that is kind of like when you're a 90s baby and your parent tells you, back in my day, you had to get a college degree, and after you get a college degree, you get a job, and after you get a job, you get married, and after you get married, you have kids, and then when you're 65, you retire, and then you're good. But my generation, we didn't really grow up with that. It's like the Wild Wild West out here, and I think the music industry is kind of the same way. It's not 1997 where I make my demo, and then I send it to the label, and then the label signs me, and we, create this superstar, and we sell 1 million records in the first week. It's a different climate, you know what I mean? And so with that said, I think what I'm doing is the best thing that I can do, which is create without boundaries and create without the boundaries of, I think the idea of a record label is dated in general because people don't buy music. You know what I mean? People buy into brands, people buy into ideas, people buy into people. So I'm not signed. I would only really sign if it made sense, if the people on the other side of the table were kind of in the same mindset that I'm in. But, you never know. I've had meetings with a bunch of people and, you never really know what can come of it. So I'm open to whatever. First, before anything, I want to shout out Rob Got Beats because he's such an integral part of what I do. He was a really integral part of Ro Ransom as a future. And you should get that Dark Sky Paradise because he produced the intro on that. But me and him and JX and the brain trust of others, we're kind of in the lab right now creating what we think the future will be. Future again. But it's going to be, what I do next is going to be much more provocative. It's going to be much more edgy. It's going to be neon. It's going to be really exciting. It's going to be pop. I've graduated from rap music. This is the master's degree. This is like the next level. It's level 6. So that's what I'm in the studio doing now.
I wouldn't be a real nigga if I would say that Rocky and Yams didn't play a big part in my career. They gave me my early jump start with the Jody track and the Beauty and the Beast project that you guys probably seen Rocky announce at Tribeca.
We were supposed to do a show with them. It was Trinidad James, 2-9, SZA, us, and I forgot who else was on that lineup, but it was a wild lineup. And, everything was love from then on. I got cats in London that I've, been working with, like my Piff Gang dudes, my Cold Mountain dudes, Skepta, BBK and all of them, I've known Odd Future, from MySpace days. So, we go way back. So, whenever I'm working on anything, it's nothing to reach out to them, and there's nothing for them to respond with, yeah, we got you. And, Wiki,